Separate Ways was the mini story that ran in sync with the main campaign. This was where we would play as Ada Wong as she worked her way through the events of the story, filling in story details that seemed a little random in Leon's. I think this is one of the areas of Resident Evil 4 that could be greatly improved upon, not to say that it was bad, but it definitely has massive potential. The first would be covering Ada's arrival to the village and her interactions with Wesker before the events of RE4. This could act as a B scenario of sorts, similar to how Resident Evil 2 does it, and this would allow to better flesh out Ada's involvement in the story, how she got there, and possibly even better explain Wesker's intentions as to why he needs the Plaga sample to just better set up the events that take place in Resident Evil 5. They could also explain how she survived Raccoon City and why she started working for Wesker as well. That would be a pretty cool story aspect to see, and if they wanted to go above and beyond, this could even involve a playable segment within Raccoon City where we play as Ada from the moment she seemingly died from Leon's perspective to the moment she escapes the city. This would also better help tie together the two games involving the two characters, of course those being Resident Evil 2 and 4, and given that this is like part of the Remake series, and the Remake series is pretty much retconning a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly even 5, 6, depending on what Capcom's got planned for the future of the series, and it does seem pretty evident that Capcom are trying to better organise the timeline of RE games using these remakes. So this idea of them having a little playable segment in Raccoon City, or even let alone just explaining it in a cutscene possibly, it wouldn't be too far-fetched, at least from how I see it. In addition to this, they could also have a first-person segment, similar to Jill's in RE3, where we are in the place that Ada is staying prior to travelling to the village, and we can see how she prepared herself for the mission, as well as what prior engagements she was involved with. I hope they also improve the combat to the point where we are able to use her grapple hook. Playing through the original Separate Ways, I've always wanted to use her grapple hook offensively, like on whim, where you can use it like a normal gun. I always thought that would be really cool if while you're fighting the enemies you can switch to your grapple hook and maybe pull them closer, maybe even pull them close and then push them away with a kick or something like that. If they really expanded upon the combat, I think that would be really cool, but of course making sure to keep it as a completely optional style of play. One thing that I hope they don't do, however, is join Ada's and Leon's stories as one playthrough, similar to how you switch between Jill and Carlos in RE3, as I think this will encourage a much less fleshed out experience, especially for Ada, but potentially for Leon as well. I think Separate Ways is an excellent concept, and in the original game it was a very good playthrough, but I think it was a bit too short, and I think making it too short in this reimagination of Resident Evil 4 will be a massive waste of just untapped potential that the original had but never capitalized on, which is understandable given the platforms it was made for. If we're super unlucky, this could even lead to it being a DLC, but hopefully they're able to fit it all into the game prior to release, and I'm assuming, considering it is being released in 2023, surely they have enough time to implement it all very well and refine it within that time. But let me know down below how you guys want Ada's story to be executed in this reimagining of Resident Evil 4, and be sure to drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. It is extremely appreciated and does help out the channel a ton, and subscribe for a lot more Resident Evil content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.